welcome to You're Wrong About Musicals. I'm Esmé.
And I'm Nell.
And today we are going to be talking about Blood Brothers. And this is our last episode for 2 weeks? 1 week? We've got some news. Not a lot of news, but there's been a lot of discourse and mess this week. I don't know. Firstly, this has happened quite quietly, and I don't know why people aren't talking about it more, because personally, this is one of the most interesting things to happen in about a month and a half. This and Evita are the only two things going on in my brain now, really. It was announced. Well, let me just read what I have written down. Diva Down, Part 2. Jesse Green gone. So, last night, as of recording, the New York Times announced that they had removed like four of their major critics. They got rid of their main critic for film, pop music, classical music, and theatre. With that, Jesse Green is unemployed. And let's just say, if you guys are looking for a new theatre critic, hi, I'll do the job. I have a degree now. It is a Bachelor of Science. Don't worry about that. I have a lot of opinions though. And Jesse Green did have worms for brains this season. Like, why was he giving critics picks to Redwood and Smash? And spending most of his Sunset Boulevard review talking about how he loves the original movie and hates what Andrew Webber did to it. That ain't changing. It's a revival. You know? And I think Andrew Webber should stay away from revising any of it too much because he might just make it worse. But yeah, this is kind of massive. Because next season we're gonna have to learn the new insane tastes of the critic. Like,
how a show's meant to pander.
Yeah. Like, is he gonna like I'm assuming it's gonna be a man because we've never had a woman as the lead critic for the Times. Do they like drama? Do they like comedy? You know? What are they into? Are they a fan of Jamie Lloyd or not? These are the big questions that are going to be answered next season. Next up, we are having the debate that makes me feel like I want to put my head inside of an oven. A little bit. Like, I do think it's interesting what this, like, if you don't know, Heather's had to put out a statement saying stop bootlegging the show. It is really obvious, guys. And people are annoyed about it because they were like, bootlegging is good because theatre accessibility. And I agree with you that bootlegging is good for theatre accessibility, and part of the reason why Heathers is on Broadway, off Broadway at the moment doing a return engagement is because of the original bootleg. However, 13-year-old child, please don't go to Heathers and turn your flash on and start waving your phone at the actors. Like, I think we've lost the art of leaving the bootlegging to the professionals.
Yeah.
I would never bootleg because I do believe it is a like intense art form, and the fact
Not even that, it's just the skill.
yeah, like the fact that people were able to bootleg like stuff in the 70s and 80s without getting caught, but now the second like technology has become accessible, everyone's getting caught for bootlegging. It's like, guys, come on now.
Like, I think for some reason, everyone has this fear. They're like, oh my god, they're not gonna bootleg this show, so I have to do it. No, it's been bootlegged.
It was bootleg probably first preview.
I can promise you right now, I could go on Tumblr and I could find a Heather's off-Broadway bootleg from last night for sale.
Yeah, guys, I hate to break this to you, and I don't know if anyone in the legal capacity is asking. I don't know anything about this. I'm just a girl. There are entire websites set up for trading and buying bootlegs.
Yeah. Like, trust me, give it like 6 months. There will be a Heather's bootleg for free on YouTube. It will get there. Also, stop calling your fucking bootleg slide tutorials. This continues to piss me off.
The joke's over. The joke died 8 years ago.
You're going to find better quality bootlegs simply by typing in bootlegs.
Reddit.
Reddit, Tumblr,
Tumblr. You
Twitter
gotta,
if you know the right places to look.
yeah, you guys have gotta, you gotta find your freaks who have this stuff lying about. Also, people on TikTok are far too easy to give away Dropbox things for bootlegs. Again, I would never know. Never know. However, you guys do seem a bit free just to give out stuff. To the point where I'm like,
I
oh,
found my old iPad from
oh
years
yes.
ago. There are bootlegs on here, by the way.
Oh, are there? Which do I even dare to ask? Which ones
It's bad.
is it? Also, guys, like I feel like people have lost knowledge of how bootlegging like the it works. Because at first when it's like filmed, it goes on sale. So you can only buy it if it's set if you buy like you can only buy it. And then you
This is a really proud moment for me, guys, because I explained this to Esmé in like year 10
yeah, this is
behind the
not new knowledge
music
for
block at
us.
high school.
Yeah. This is not new knowledge for us right now. But because you've always
People
yeah.
will keep it private for a while,
Mm,
sometimes,
yeah.
or they will just start selling it,
Yes.
or they'll start trading it.
They'll sell
Once,
it within like that, but that will happen in like closed areas. That won't happen on TikTok.
yeah,
That happens in
listen,
DMs.
the most open it's ever gonna get is someone on Tumblr being like, "Hi guys, I have um two bootlegs to trade and one bootleg to sell."
Mm,
And the two bootlegs to trade are like the most common bootlegs. There's a rarity.
yeah,
But it's just, you've just got to wait for a kind of dodgy Google Drive link.
yeah. Where you're like, I could get a virus from this, but 90% of the time you do get a bootleg.
Yeah,
Um, and that's for many reasons. I think it's mostly so that they can't track down who took this very good bootleg.
yeah,
And often it will be a better bootleg if you wait.
yeah.
Anyway.
I also think that there's this some people are talking specifically about this Heather's
Mm-mm.
because they're like, well, the actors are well within their right to not want to be filmed when they're half naked without
Yeah,
their consent.
yeah, that is
I'm like,
fair.
that's completely. However, I have to assume that you are comfortable getting half naked in front of an audience every night. It's also this weird assumption that like actors don't know bootlegs exist.
Yes. Guys, we passed that point when Lin-Manuel Miranda made a tweet about it about 10 years ago to the day.
There was an ongoing bit in 2016 and 17 about Ben Platt's Wicked Bootleg collection
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
he talked about it
He talked about
constantly.
it. The half of the Dear Evan Hansen press run, and I'm not going back to check this because I'd rather shoot myself, was him talking about his collection of Wicked bootlegs.
He fucking loved Wicked Bootlegs. His dad did that shit.
Wicked. Also, like, you don't think the Deaf Becomes Her producers don't know about the bootlegs?
Like, it's so weird because obviously pretty much everyone that is a successful like theatre actor started off as a theatre kid.
Yeah.
Every single theatre kid knows about bootlegs.
Like, also, are we the guys? This is the point where I'm like, oh my god, I've been doing this for so long. I'm now old in internet terms because I'm like, we all had this discussion 10 years ago, right? This is
Yes.
this is a fact. Like bootlegs are good for accessibility, but they're also nuanced, and there's a way we should talk about them and handle them. Whereas I feel like the younger kids today feel like they've just discovered bootlegs for the first time.
So, and I get that there is going to be a different perspective from actors, where it's
Yes.
like, oh yeah, when I wasn't an actor, I obviously loved bootlegs, but now that I am an actor, I have a different perspective because it is, I forget who it was, but someone on Broadway was talking about something where there was a bootleg that was spread around about them. And it was when they had a like bad vocal night.
I think it might have been Hannah Lowther.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Oh, in my head, that makes sense. I was like, I get that completely. That's something that I'm never gonna think about because
Yeah,
I'm not a Broadway or like a like performer. For me, I do not care.
no.
There's that one of Leslie Odom Jr.
Mm.
It's like this man will not make an orphan of my daughter. I don't know. I've heard this like 50 times in the last week. I don't know why everyone is suddenly like reposting it everywhere, but
But
I
it's
keep
also like
hearing it.
it's also like you guys also like didn't watch bootlegs where actors would stare down the camera and then just keep going.
You weren't on YouTube watching these 10-minute long compilations of them staring directly at you. Like I
Learn your
think
history
there
before
is
you.
always there's always going to be a very nuanced discussion to be had about bootlegs.
Yes.
I don't even think nuance is the right word,
Mm.
but a complex one. Where yes, there are two sides to it.
Yeah.
Yes, everyday people should not be recording bootlegs. There is there are people who know how to record bootlegs. We should leave it to
And
them.
guys, I don't know who any of these people are. I think they should stay anonymous forever. I was actually once talking about this. I was like, me and my friends were talking about like, oh, if you had like unlimited funds, what would you make a documentary on? And I was like, honestly, the bootlegging circles, like the old school 70s and 80s bootlegging circles. Because,
Yeah.
but I was also like, I wouldn't want to like reveal their anonymity.
Yeah.
Because like I think they've just done such vital work, and it's probably not as many people as you think it is. It might be 5 people who are just going to everything and bootlegging it.
Exactly. That's why they sell them to get the money for the next ticket.
Yeah, and they used to like book out the seats around them so that they could get all the equipment in. It's I need a documentary, but also at the same time I'm like I think this should stay underground.
It's it's so interesting. And I think that's what the conversation should be about. Not, guys, should we be bootlegging? Yes!
We should be, but you
People are
shouldn't.
allowed to be annoyed about it. People are allowed to, the actors are allowed to hate it. The audience is allowed to hate it when it's some 13-year-old with the flash on.
Okay,
Yes, we should be bootlegging.
that like do you remember that old Tumblr post? Again, we are really aging
Yes.
ourselves here. Of like
Most definitely,
imagine
yes.
being an usher at Be More Chill and Sarah, a 15-year-old who runs a fan account, are you gonna get up on your iPad right now?
Yeah, I might.
That's how I feel about
I
bootlegging.
unironically reckon I have it.
That's how I feel about bootlegging in this day and age. Like
Guys, I found my iPad last week and it is
it is Nell would
it's
not let me.
incredible.
I just want to hold it and just like go through everything, but Nell will not let me. I'm
Will not
allowed to
let me.
see specific things.
I have screenshots of the Be More Chill script on here, so I just say. In case anyone's wondering the kind of shit I'm talking about. I don't know if I do have it on here. I feel like at some point I must have. Um, but yeah, the premise of like people did genuinely used to just steal about 50 playbills.
And now they just sit around bootlegging it. And it's like, guys, can you just go back to stealing the program?
I just listen, go and take 50 playbills.
When an usher's not looking. Don't actually do any of this, but you know what we mean.
You know what we mean, but go and steal 50 playbills. But then put them for sale for like £10 on Vinted.
Yeah.
Because I can't even like I will be there. I'm actually really looking through this because I think I might have it on here. But the picture I showed Esmé one picture of these girls cosplaying as the Heathers that I took at a Comic-Con.
Yep.
I actually feel a bit sick scrolling through this, by the way. But just to give everyone an idea that oh, That was the one thing I found on here that was really, really funny.
What?
I showed it to you. I showed the original Jared Eats Bath Bomb stuff.
Oh my God, yes. Historical evidence is on Nell's iPad, and she went through and deleted a lot of it. And I was like, I bet you're not. I hope you're not deleting history right now.
No, no, no. Anything that I thought was like,
Historic, like for discussions like this where we can prove how old
yeah,
we
where I'm
are.
like, hold on, let's check.
Let's reference the ancient texts.
Um, that's a pic. Okay, these are so. I feel like I'm gonna be here for like 20 minutes trying to film this.
That post would have been made late because Be More Chill didn't return until 2019. 2018.
I feel like it might not have been Be More Chill, but in my head it like might be.
In my head, I can picture the text. And it's
I
beautiful.
have, yeah,
Because then it went on to say whose user is like George Salazar forever.
yeah. I have some tweets from Nimel Miranda that
Okay.
are blue dress and little kid, you're a killer front row tonight. Phone second row and phone fourth row, you almost fucked it up for me, but blue dress and little kid were so with me they held me down.
See, guys, bootlegs are
This
not
is
a secret.
a screenshot from the 4th of April 2017. The tweets are probably older than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I have it.
Okay. But you guys are not the first people to have around a bootleg discourse. Theatre accessibility is important. Heather bootlegs are kind of important to the history of Heathers. Jessica, put the phone down.
Yeah.
If anyone would like to talk about trading Avita bootlegs, hit me up. That's a joke.
What bootleg do you
I don't
have to
have to
trade?
trade, though that's the issue. I would have to buy, but like,
If I found my old laptop, I still have that Presley Ryan
do.
Beetlejuice bootleg.
I don't have
I have
any
a
good
Tuck
stuff.
Everlasting bootleg.
Yeah, I don't have any good stuff anymore because that all died with my old computer.
I just need to make it clear, even as I'm saying this, I would never watch a bootleg.
No one check any of my devices for bootlegs. I don't have
I
any.
remember in high school, I used known isn't the right word, but like three people
Hmm.
did regularly come to me asking for bootlegs.
Yeah. But I mean, we all have our favorite bootlegs of productions from 2007.
I don't.
I do. Leave me alone. There are some shows that I love that I've actually never seen a bootleg of, though.
I still remember the first bootleg I ever watched.
Okay,
Yeah.
no one check that out.
This has also made me remember that we're missing the most vital point of not point, but vital part of the bootleg discourse.
Hmm.
Guys, if you do not have a memory of the Hamilton bootlegs being put up on Pornhub, you're too young to be having this conversation again. We've done it.
Okay.
We've all been through it.
And
If
then
you never,
everyone's like, oh,
knew about the Hamilton bootlegs on Pornhub, move on.
everyone's also like, oh, but everyone should just do a pro shot, guys. Pro shots are so expensive to film in America. Why do you think they get filmed in London all the time?
Beetlejuice,
Just
get over here. Get over here right
speaking of
now.
SpongeBob, why do you think they went to the Plymouth or somewhere like in
Exactly.
the sea, like on that coast, the south coast, and like set up shop for like a week with Ethan's later because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
I
I
also
know, I think like for us, it is so boring to keep having this bootleg discussion. But also, if it's your first time having it, it is like a
fundamental.
vital part of who you're going to become. If you are currently on the front lines of like talking about bootlegs on Twitter,
Oh, I'm seeing the
you
people.
are about to be insufferable for the next 10 years, and you just have to accept that.
Oh, some of them are already insufferable, but it's like this is a part of you maturing.
Yeah.
This is a part of your maturing process. It also reminded me that the Hades Town Pro short still looms large.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. I really forgot.
Anyways, let's move on. We cannot keep discussing bootleg discourse.
Like interesting as it is, the two of us, we're both like talking about like the weird aspects of it.
Listen, the Heather's actors are well within their right to be uncomfortable with the bootlegs and not want them filmed, especially if it's being done by a child with flash on.
Yeah.
Fair. But actors are always going to be uncomfortable with it. That's fine. Bootlegs are still going to happen.
Bootlegs are
And
gonna
you can't have like relied on bootlegs for years and then turn around and be like, but my favorite actor doesn't like it, so therefore I hate bootlegs.
also like whenever me and you would go to the theatre, sometimes we're like, this is a great spot for bootlegging, but like we're both too scared to do it because one, we don't
When we
feel
were at
like to.
Evita, the usher just kept walking up and down the aisle next to me, and I'm like, I know we look very young, and like it's kind of weird for us to be sat here.
Yeah.
We're not bootlegging this.
Trust me, bro. We don't want anything to take away from what's happening in front of us. The lady next to us is gonna ruin one of my favorite. Is gonna stand up and make me move during one of my favorite moments.
I was furious at her.
I wanted to hit her. I was like,
Every single person in the stalls was American, by the way. That pissed me off.
down. Basically, the woman was like, she's
Get
like,
down.
get down. She was. I keep saying that to my dogs. Like they're somewhere they're supposed to be. Get down. Um, I keep like it was a New Argentina, and if you don't know me, I think a New Argentina might have been one of the best songs Andrew Lloyd Webber has actually ever written, and the way that it is orchestrated currently on the West End is like it's basically like catnip to me personally. Like everything about that sequence is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Like amazing. Oh, done. Never. So I'm living life to the fullest, and then the woman next to us is like, I know that the act is about to end, so I'm gonna get up and go now.
Yeah.
And is talking with her family whilst doing it. I'm like, girl, shut up. Anyway,
I think you're only allowed to do that if you are already on the end of a row.
yeah, don't.
If
Yeah,
you're planning to get up and leave halfway through the last song, book
yeah.
seats on the end of a row. Otherwise, sorry, you're stuck in there.
Sorry, I want to hear a New Argentina.
Because also, like, we had to move.
Yes.
And then also us standing up blocked the view of everyone behind
And the
us.
people next to us had to stand up. It wasn't even like we were on the row.
There was like 4 seats between them and the edge,
Yeah.
which I get is pretty close, but
When the confetti cannon, when the Perón election party is happening. Anyway, next up, we're still on the topic of teen musicals. Clueless to close in the West End. Now, I don't think I'm gonna go see this.
no.
Um,
I saw a lot of bootlegs of it when Doug Cameron was in it, I'll tell you that much. But I don't think I'm gonna go see
I
it.
don't think I'm gonna go see it. It's
You
just
know,
like
very sad as always, but not particularly surprising.
one, not particularly surprising, and two, I was kind of like side-eyeing it a bit when Mean Girls announced it was closing. I was like, okay, I'm now going to be keeping my eye on Clueless to see how that does because I'm kind of come up with the theory that Heathers the musical killed the movie musical in the UK.
Yeah.
It just gave producers this false sense that we would like set out runs, and it was like, no, Heathers was just this very special case, not a trend.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm sure it'll do well on tour like Cruel Intentions did. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
I hope that like this is the end of this trend we've been in.
Let's bring back kid musicals. For example,
Paddington.
no, let's put Tuck Everlasting in the Trafalgar.
Well, yes, that has to be the perfect venue for it. You joke, but
I joke. Well, to be clear, the perfect venue would be the open air.
yeah, but
But then secondly, the Donmar.
they
But
haven't got back to our emails
West
yet.
End. West End, Trafalgar.
Trafalgar, it's tiny.
And we will
Oh,
be there. I will quit my job and just go and sit and watch Tuck Everlasting every night.
cry at the ballet, all the things.
Oh my god, ballet! What a show.
Now, should we talk about Burlesque then?
Yeah.
So, Burlesque has been bubbling for a while now as A musical. It got good reviews in Glasgow and Manchester last year, this time last year.
Yeah.
And then I kind of assumed it would come to the West End at some point.
Hmm.
And I was hearing through online chatter that it was a bit messy, like the behind the scenes. So when they announced that it was coming to the West End, and Nick Winston, who did that production of Bonnie and Clyde, and like Your Eye in April, would not be directing it for transfer, and Todrick Hall was now being given just seemingly full creative control. Um, because if you don't know, I can't explain who Todrick Hall is. I wish I could.
I feel like a lot of producers treat him like he has like hordes of fans.
He doesn't.
A lot of people who know who Todrick Hall is. I've never met anyone who is like a hardcore fan of Todrick Hall.
No, I think they do exist. I just don't know any of them.
Yeah.
Um, but Todrick Hall it would be now directing, choreographing, writing the music, and starring in Burlesque the musical. And I went, "Oh Jesus Christ, here we go." Um, for the West End run at the Savoy, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then it had its first preview last week, and I believe reviews will be out next week. So I will be reading. I'll be in a lake in the middle of nowhere, Canada, reading the Burlesque reviews. Um, and
Some people have already put out their thoughts. They
yeah,
aren't reviews.
they aren't reviews, but they are thoughts. And you know, people these days when preview pricing isn't as expensive, and when your show is running an hour longer than the runtime listed,
Yeah, I saw like 3 hours, 10 minutes.
why the fuck is Burlesque the musical 3 hours 10 minutes? Apparently, Todrick Hall is just on stage all of the time. And like 80% of the score is written by him. And you know, Diane Warren,
Yeah.
legendary songwriter Diane Warren, who
Mm,
wrote a song for the original movie that was used up in Glasgow and Manchester, right? Her
mm.
song was cut, and I've not seen Burlesque, but apparently it's very fundamentally important to the story of Burlesque, this song. And I believe um, Diane Warren is a competent songwriter, so I have no doubts in her songwriting ability. They replaced that with a song written by Todrick Hall, and Diane Warren got on Instagram. I think she's deleted the post now, but I saw it when it was up, basically saying, "Why have you deleted? Why have you got rid of my song, you idiots? Why did no one tell me about this? I had to find out when when the first preview happened."
It all seemed like a bit of a mess.
Yeah, this is a rumor, but I've heard it all over the internet. Apparently, the cast were buying their costumes from Primark.
I saw a review that, not a review, a piece that said that like half the costumes didn't seem to be fitting them quite right.
Yeah. See,
It's just,
unfortunately, I do need to go and see the Todrick because we were talking about this before. We were like, we need to go see the Todrick Hall Lin-Manuel Miranda burlesque musical, but I don't know if I can sit through 3 hours of it.
yeah. I mean, if it is going as badly as people seem to be suggesting,
Mm.
I'm hoping that at some point there will be really, really cheap tickets.
See, that's the issue. It's still kind of expensive because people want to go see Burlesque, the musical. Yeah, it's selling really well.
I have seen some people um suggest that they have bought tickets and now might not go because of how bad it seems.
Also, like, with it being such a long runtime, okay, so Stereophonic is. I'll see how long. I'll check how long Stereophonic is because Stereophonic is a long show and is being produced like it's a long show, right?
Yeah.
Let me get it up. Stereo. Stereophonic. Stereophonic is as the runtime advertised, 3 hours 10 minutes, including an interval, which is a long time for a theatre piece. For reference, Evita is a whole hour shorter.
And Evita's quite long as well.
Evita's long, but I'm happy to sit there and take it. Les Mis, 2 hours 45. Long time for a musical theatre piece. And Les Mis is known for being long. Like a Phantom is also known for being long and not being as long. So should I tell you what Stereophonic does to compensate for the fact that it's ridiculously long and it's aware it's ridiculously long?
What?
They have their show start, matinee start at 1, evening shows start at 7.
Fair.
Fair. There are signs all throughout the theatre telling you exactly how long it is and how much the breakdown is of it. Because people aren't used to sitting for that long. People have trains to catch.
Like, we literally just complained about people, like, walking out in the middle.
If you walked out in the middle of not Stereophonic, burlesque, go ahead.
But it is still, like, annoying.
It's annoying, but I think people might be wanting an escape from the Dodger Claw musical.
I get that, like, yes.
Yeah.
But I think regardless of the show, if not only you, but everyone around you has spent a ridiculous amount of money to go and see this show, a lot of people are going to try and stick it through to the end purely to get their money's worth.
Yes, yeah.
So imagine if you want to do that, you physically can't because you have a train to catch. You have to get the last train. You have tickets, whatever, something like that. You have to be up in the morning, So you have to leave early. It's a waste of money. Or if you are willing to stay to the end, but just constantly throughout the last quarter of the show, people are constantly getting up, blocking your view, getting you to move, catching as they're leaving.
Yeah.
That's also a waste of your money. It is ridiculous from an audience perspective for that, and also just that the show is not good.
Well, the show's not good, and also people it started previews last week, a whole 7 days ago, and people are still when people came out the first preview, they also were like, oh, it started late because they were still doing their first dress run. The first performance was their second dress run.
Yeah.
Which is not normal. Les Mis is long. I've checked it. Les Mis is 2 hours and 50 minutes. But again, Les Mis knows it's a long show.
Les Mis knows it's a long show, and everyone knows Les Mis is a long show.
Okay, let me quickly check how long burlesque is. Oh, they've now changed it to be confirmed the runtime. Okay. Sure. But yeah, no, it's the fact that it's been in previews for a week now and there's been no cutting of it.
Yeah.
Because surely that's got to be your first thing of, oh my god, my musical's 3 hours. My musical, which is supposed to... Also, I thought burlesque was all about the two women. Apparently now it's about Todrick Hall's character.
It's just, I would love to be wrong in that, because I've not seen this version of burlesque, this musical version, and because I've not seen the original burlesque.
Yeah.
I would love to be proved wrong. I'd be like, oh, actually, it makes a lot of sense, and I'm just seeing bad reviews for whatever reason.
That there is a hate
the
group
plot
now.
Yeah, the plot makes sense, actually. It's a reimagining. I would love for that to be true. I just really don't think it's going to be.
Also, why did we give Todrick Hall this much creative control? He's had no experience in any of these apart from choreography, I think. Maybe. I don't know who this man is. I think he's friends.
He's done a lot of choreography. I also know he's done
Broadway.
Yeah, he has written songs.
Yeah, so that all checks out. I don't know why he was given directing.
I mean, having watched Dance Moms.
Yeah.
He directs them quite a bit. I think he directs some of his own music videos.
But yeah, no, my thing is that it's kind of different when you're doing a
Well,
big
yeah,
West End musical.
I'm gonna look him up and see if he has any actual like directing
Theatre
credits.
directing credits. Taylor Swift directs her own music videos, and they're pretty shit. If Taylor Swift's not directing a musical, I'd have to be there. But
Okay, he definitely does have fans.
okay,
He was on American Idol and he has a YouTube channel.
okay.
Filmography. No, I don't think so. Not that I can see.
But yeah, I am kind
He
of
has a lot of choreographer ones, obviously.
choreography was always the one that made the most sense to me.
Mm.
What
So he has been an executive producer on something.
what was it?
I don't know if you're gonna like this,
Oh, for God's sakes.
but he was an executive producer on Taylor Swift's "You Need to Calm Down" music video.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a train wreck. I thought you were about to say something else. I was preparing for way worse. I knew that.
Yeah, that's fine.
She was
But
having anybody go to that though. He was also in the Miss Americana documentary.
likely.
Like sit around and do nails together. Oh God, the love it era is so bad.
Anyways, burlesque train wreck,
Well, that's
but
yeah, kind of expected it. Anywho, Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl announced their full casting. Philippa Sue will be Mary Magdalene. Um, their name just slipped my brain, but should I tell you who's in it? I don't know what role.
who?
Hades from original London. His name slipped my brain. Zachary James.
Oh yeah.
I saw him and I was like, oh, outstanding.
Let me see if I can find the full cast list again.
Josh Gad's in it. Oh,
Yeah.
Raul Esparza's in it, which is exciting.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
how long ago was this released?
Like this week, Monday, I want to say Tuesday.
Milo Manheim's in it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go and look at getting their tickets. So yeah, Josh Gad is King Herod.
Yeah.
Additional all-star cast to be announced,
Okay.
allegedly.
Okay.
But I feel like I've seen a graphic of like the full cast.
Yeah, I feel like they might just be waiting on the ensemble.
I feel like unironically I've seen a graphic from like
Oh wait, I found the full press release. I think. So it's Cynthia Erivo, Adam Lambert, Josh Gad, Philippa Sue. That's all the people this Broadway World article have. That's so helpful, guys. Really appreciate
so
that.
can I just what the fuck? Why is Tom Francis updates always looking up like shows on AO3?
Have they done it again?
You guys will never guess what the second most popular ship in the AO3 waiting for Godot tag is. Behind Vladimir and Estrogen. Estrogen, of course. Why are you constantly like it is hilarious, but why are you constantly doing it?
Stuff we would do though.
No, like I do it and I know why I do it. Why are you doing it?
They're a freak like you. Okay. Um, we're gonna be quick with these next ones because we spent too much time talking about bootlegs.
Yeah.
Um, John Robbins is going into Matilda as Trunchbull. We need to go see Matilda at some point. Um, we could go see Boop Award uh at the Costa Rica. I can't say it properly. It's been a very long week, guys. I know it's only Wednesday as of recording, but it's been a very long week. Um, Las Costa Rica, Las Costa Ristas. And there's been new O'Mary casting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Blood Brothers. I would attempt to do an accent like I had to that one time, but I'm not going to because that'd be offensive to the people of Liverpool. Okay. I have it in my head that Blood Brothers was later than 1983, but it wasn't.
Mm.
Um, Blood Brothers is a musical with music, lyrics, and a book by Willie Russell. Russell grew up in an intellectual, left-wing, working-class household in Liverpool. His father was a fish and chip shop owner who ran a library on a bicycle, transporting books in two bookcases strapped to the sides, lending them out for a penny. He wouldn't do well at school, but knew he wanted to be a writer, calling himself an effing idiot for entertaining the idea since he was working class and writers went to Oxford. So he began to write songs since the idea that anyone can do that, not like books or theatre. There's no obvious class situation to deal with. Um, One never confused the idea of songwriting with academic achievement, which would happen if he was a novel writer in his head. That was an interesting point. I was like, wow, good point there. Um, he would later get a job as a teacher so he could write on the school holidays, novels and lyrics. His when a production of when a production of a play I hadn't heard of, I had written it down, but I wrote it down badly because I had woken up at 5 a.m. that day. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I looked at it.
Wow.
That's still just my typo.
Hold on. I don't know.
Cool. Um, it was knocked off the curriculum and he was offered to supply his own play. By 29, Russell had adapted an Alan Peter play from for the Everyman in Bristol and sold it to the BBC Birmingham. He would then write a play called John, Paul, George, Ringo, and Bert. Um, Afterwards, he would leave teaching since he was making enough money to support himself for his writing. He had the idea for Blood Brothers some years before, saying, quote, before he had the courage to try and write it. It was one of those rare ideas that came fully formed as a story just dropping into my head. I was walking along one day, lifted my foot, and by the time I put it down again, I had the plot, narrative, central characters, the superstition, and the knowledge that it had to be a musical. Quote, I had a mental image of Mrs. Johnstone, like the mother in a nursery rhyme. There was a little old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. But in my mind's eye, the mother was a contemporary character in a contemporary urban setting, talking about the Lower East, talking about the side of the East Lancs Road past Sparrow Hall flats to the rows of council houses, and a gaggle of kids strangling along beside her. I knew that this woman was pregnant again, and although she didn't know it yet, I knew that she was expecting twins, but one of those twins was going to be given away. The only thing was to sit down and write it. From there, it would first open at the Liverpool Playhouse in January 1983. After a successful run, it would transfer to the West End for 6 months at the Lyric Theatre. It would win best. It would win the Olivier for Best New Musical, as well as Best Actress in a Musical for Barbara Dickinson. Um, and the narrator would also be nominated for Best Actor of the Year. It would then have a long UK tour where Bill Kenwright would first get involved in it, and then he would be like, actually, let's bring that back to the West End. Where it opened at the Alberti Al Alberti Theatre, is now the Noel Coward. And then would transfer to the Phoenix, running for 24 years and becoming one of the longest running musicals in West End history. It's the longest running revival, I think, still to this day. Yeah, I can't think of another revival that's run for as long as that Blood Brothers production did. So it is hard to find reviews from 1983 for UK theatre specifically, because a lot of it's just not archived in the same way like the New York Times archives it. But I did find a theatre critic who actually ended up at one of the first previews of its tryout in Liverpool. So we're going to read that. What excited me at the time about this musical, what excited me at the time was that this musical had everything. Alex Schoenfeld came on as the narrator who spoke in rhyming couplets. So did you hear the story of the Johnstone twins? As like each other as two new pins, which gave the show a air of Greek tragedy. It had a narrative
Takes me back.
It had a narrative arc to match. That could have been pretentious, except this show was boisterous, earthy, and funny. It had an authentic working class voice, and it is a story about twins brought up on either side of the class divide. It wore its political heart on its sleeve. This was 18 months into the after the Toffsketh riots, the era of militant councils, and the boys from the black stuff. And to find its socialist principles enshrined in the popular musical felt like a tremendous profit. I genuinely cannot talk today.
Vacation.
Profit. I can normally say that word. I'm going to move on. It wasn't West End glitz. It was theatre rooted in place and time. All this and a set of sweetly melodic songs by Russell himself that reminded us that musicals could work in a Pope slash
Hope. You've got this, girl.
I smashed them together. Folk slash pop idiom, just as they had done in the golden era of Broadway. I'm not saying a word. Tell me that's not true. Marilyn Monroe. Has any playwright since Noel Coward dubbed so pervasively as a composer? Recently, a friend told me she'd seen the show on the UK tour and was shocked by how bad it was. I didn't know. I wasn't there. Maybe it's because something else after 30 years. Maybe it's because it's become something else after 30 years. But back in the start of 1983, Blood Brothers stood for everything I believed theatre could be. Now, this review is really interesting to me. Well, it's not a review. It's just an account of his experience going to see Blood Brothers in 1983. Because I saw Oliver 2 weeks ago. And one of my first...
Here we go.
This is all it's going to be on Oliver, because I have many, many thoughts, feelings, and opinions about Oliver, the musical currently playing at the Go-Good Theatre. I wonder what it would have been like to see Oliver without knowing all the baggage of it.
Mm.
And I think that that article does a really good job of talking about what Blood Brothers was when it first came out and what it meant to specifically the people of Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, for a lot of people in the UK who have grown up post Blood Brothers, it's something we're all forced to study.
Yeah.
So to take it back to its root as like this quite cutting edge piece of theatre is interesting. It's like when you realize Shakespeare is actually good
Oh yeah.
because you're like, I don't have to do this anymore, so this is good. Um, yeah, so it would run, the tour is still running to this day. There is a tweet that I think about often all the time, which is like, um, when two things will be certain when the world dies, the cockroaches will still walk the earth, and so will the Blood Brothers tour.
Yeah.
But it has to, and it makes money.
Listen, there are thousands
Of school
of
groups.
GCSE drama students who
And
need
some
to go and
kids
see
do it
it.
for English.
Yeah. This thing, I was talking with someone from uni and they were like, oh yeah, when we studied Blood Brothers. And I said, oh, you did like GCSE drama? I'm like, no, English. I was like, well, don't say it like that. It was a great drama piece.
Yes. I think it's better as a drama piece than as a play, and Inspector Calls is the right play.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to, what was the monologue?
there are
I'm
many.
not, I'm nearly 8.
Oh, for God's sakes, that's
What a show. What a show.
what a show! And I think a lot of Americans are quite confounded with our love of Blood Brothers, but for me, it's very simple, and I'm going to talk about it when we get to our thoughts.
I'm trying to think if we got programs for Blood Brothers. I
We
know we did
didn't.
for Curious
We got them for
Incident.
Curious Incident because we had to
Yeah.
ask the question.
Yeah.
Um, it would finally make its way to Broadway in 1993, playing at the Music Box Theatre, with it opening on the 25th of April after 13 previews. Let's read what Frank Rich had to say for it for the New York Times. Hardened theatre Hardened New York theatergoers who expect British musicals to hit town powered by big bucks, Technicolor sparkle, and a defining amplification may be taken aback by Blood Brothers. The latest West End export to reach Broadway, Blood Brothers opens in a tableau of its title characters laid out as corpses. The evening-long flashbacks, which unfolds largely in the dank brick welfare housing of depressed northern England, and the offstage band is small and tiny enough to hold a fourth in a garage. There is not much dancing or for that matter, there is not much to dance about. Blood Brothers is a Thatcher era attack on the British class system and wears its austerity on its sleeve. Frank Rich, you just made an amazing point. Snaps to Frank Rich. Bourgeois films, frills be damned. Mr. Russell, the Liverpool-born author of Educating Rita and Shirley Valentine. They are two also very fundamental British plays. Like they are fundamental attacks to the UK theatre scene and the culture, I would argue. Would rather be more sincere than slick. His musical has a rough tune, proletarian flavour of British dramas of the Angry Man era of the late 1950s and early 60s. The the authentic chips of everything Spritz has transferred to the snug music box theatre without any infusions of Broadway glitz. Whether the appealing, prevalent atmosphere will carry with the less class-conscious Americans, though, the musical's nearly 3 hour for the musical's nearly 3 hours is another question. West Side Story, this is not. Easy it is to like Blood Brothers on its egalitarian principle. It is only rousing theatre in fits and spurts. Mr. Russell milks melodramatic tale propelled in a agate plot characters exclusively for drastic ends. His score is tuneful and impressive coming from someone who is essentially an amateur composer but is spread thin. One song typically has four reprises, and even so, the evening seems to have too little music and too much talk. Um, I did not get a synopsis. Sorry, let me do that in a minute. Um,
Let me guess.
should I get one and then you try and do
Yeah,
one?
yeah. No, because I won't be able to do a synopsis. I can just do a play-by-play.
Yeah, that is hard because we do know it so intensely.
Lights up.
Lights up, Mrs. Johnson is on stage.
Miss
Um,
Johnson is on stage. She is going to sing Marilyn Monroe 1. Um,
well,
when
no,
it talks
she's
about her
she's
history.
crying. She's singing "Tell Me That's Not True," or is that at the
No,
end?
she's singing like the prologue where there's two like covered bodies on stage, and then the narrator comes on and he's like,
Scary man, that narrator.
scary man, shoes upon a table and a spider's been killed, someone's broke the looking glass, there's a full moon shining, the salt's been spilled, you're stepping on the pavement cracks, who knows what's going to come to pass?
Oh God, wow,
Well, you know the devil's got your number. You know he's going to find you.
Jesus.
I
Anyway,
actually think I know all of shoes upon a table.
do you? I heard it once and went, I'm weirded out. Bye. Um,
I swear you're a part of this. Me and someone else in our drama class used to quote the entire song to each other
I think we
all the
used to
time.
quote it, but I've not retained the information.
Really? It's like stuck in my brain.
No. Anyway, at the Tony Awards, let's talk about Blood Brothers and the Tonys. It would be nominated for Best Actress in a Musical for Stephanie Lawrence, Best Book of a Musical, Best Director, and Best Musical. It would not win any. The Tony Awards did not like Blood Brothers.
Year was this?
1993. Five. Five?
Five?
Three. Carrie Butler made her Broadway
Three.
debut in this, and that was the one
I was
fact
gonna say I know
I
that Carrie
knew.
Butler's in
This was
this.
the one fact I knew about it before I went in to see it the first time, and I didn't even know that there was music in it. And I remember seeing like a CD and turning to now and being like, I think there's music in this.
The host was Liza Minnelli, by the way.
We used to have it so good in the 90s.
There were no musical revivals.
Okay, maybe we didn't.
Original musicals.
Hmm.
A Broadway grant. This was everything that was eligible.
Okay.
A Broadway Grand,
Hmm.
Anna Karenina,
Hmm.
Blood Brothers, The Goodbye Girl,
Sorry,
Gypsy Passion.
how did you just say is Anna Karenina, isn't it not?
Huh?
Oh my God, I forgot about that. How did I write about that?
What?
Carole King was Miss Johnstone on Broadway.
Oh
Give
yeah.
me a time machine. I love Carole King.
Uh, Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Yeah, that was the big winner.
Who's Tommy, by the way, also opened for the first time this year.
That was also the big winner. It was the Who's Tommy year because that one score, and then they tightened it because they were like, actually, that we probably shouldn't have given that score because it's technically a concept album.
Mm. Um. Oh my God, this was the Angels in America year.
Yeah, it was one. It was it. It was Millennium Approaches, right? Which is the second
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Not
that was okay. Kiss of the Spider Woman swept musicals,
mm.
and Angels in America swept plays.
But yeah.
Robert Sean Leonard was nominated for a play.
Hmm.
King. Oh, they had a tie for best original score again.
Yes, yes, because I knew that there was something weird with the Tommy score.
Yeah. Who's Tommy and Kiss of the Spider Woman both won. Who's Tommy won best choreography. Direction, Who's Tommy. Um,
Yeah.
The Regional Theatre Award that year went to the La Jolla Playhouse.
They gave us Bonnie and Clyde.
The Special Tony Award went to Oklahoma for its 50th anniversary. What a year, what a year.
What a crazy year. Right, I do have a synopsis for you to read now.
Yeah, let's see it. Twin English brothers are separated at birth, with one raised in wealth and the other in poverty, and grow to be friends and then bitter enemies without knowing their blood connection. Bitter enemies? I don't think so.
They don't like each other.
No, well, no. One of them doesn't like the other.
Yeah.
In fairness, because his wife is cheating on him with that one.
Yeah.
In fairness, the hatred is
Yes.
fully justified.
Because Linda, his wife, and his childhood best friend is with Eddie. Because Mickey is, I'm going to sound so weird here, but the poor
Right.
one.
Characters you need to know. Mickey, the poor twin. Eddie,
Eddie,
the rich twin. Linda, the one girl in their childhood friends.
And his poor.
Also poor.
What's the brother called? Who's always getting them into trouble?
Oh. I need to remember this monologue. Sammy.
Sammy! Because I knew that Sammy was the one that got Mickey thrown in jail.
I think it's Sammy. Now that I'm saying
Sammy.
it more and more.
It is Sammy.
Look.
Barking. Or was that just Ray?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it is Sammy.
And then there's Mrs. Johnstone and Mrs. Lyons. Mrs. Johnstone is poor, and Mrs. Lyons is rich.
Mrs. Johnstone is the mother of the twins and like
Yeah.
all the kids in the play.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lyons, infertile. Mrs. Johnstone is a cleaner for Mrs. Lyons when she finds out she's pregnant with twins, and Mrs. Lyons says, I'll pay you for one of the twins. Now, we studied this show for GCSE drama, as we've said.
Yeah.
So I could tell you a lot about it.
So much. Do you want me to share my quite obvious hypothesis about why Americans are like, what the fuck is this musical?
Yeah, sure.
And why we just sat around defining people by what socioeconomic class they belong to.
Mm.
This plays into our deep nation-held obsession with class.
Oh, yeah.
This is fundamentally a story about class, so of course we're gonna love it. And a deep examination of the privilege and what that means.
And can I just say, though,
Yeah.
the musical as a whole is quite serious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are funny moments,
Mm.
but you can clearly tell when something is a joke. But the overall tone is very serious.
Mm-hmm.
On reflection, however, there is one moment in the show. I keep calling it a play, it's not, it is a musical.
It's
but we were always
musical.
called it a play when we were writing about it.
Our teachers called it a play, everyone forgets it's a musical, and it's like, guys, it was a musical.
Like a very iconic musical. There's
but it's
one moment in the show.
It's taught in the GCSE English literature specification, which is the exam everyone has to sit, but you get to pick what books depending on the school, as a play, which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah. I will say, one of the funniest parts when we were studying it was when we were all sat around in a circle doing a read-through, and our teacher was like, you can sing it if you'd like to. No one sung it.
No one
Anyways, on reflection, there is one moment in this show which is played completely seriously, and everyone talks about it completely seriously. But it's fucking hilarious. Which is the moment right at the end of Act 1.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lyons has just found out that her son is friends with his birth family. He doesn't know it's his birth family. He's furious. She's terrified.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to move to the countryside, far and far away, because I cannot like let my son know where he's from. It will be bad for him. It's a very obvious like class thing that she thinks they're poor and they're gonna
like rub off on him, and they're gonna lead him to a life of crime and debauchery.
Yeah. She's like, this will be awful. Now, in fairness, in reviewing the rest of the play, she is right.
Like, yeah, but what
That
pushes
does
Sammy?
happen.
What pushes Sammy and Mickey to commit crime?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like she has these beliefs for the wrong reason.
Yeah, and she doesn't do anything to help these
Yeah,
people. She just kind of makes their lives significantly
yeah.
worse.
And so she's like, my family, the Lyons family, have to move. We
Yeah,
have to get out of here. So she packs up her entire life to move
5 minutes.
miles away
I don't even
into the
think it's that
country.
far.
Well, she's moving them to the countryside, to a different place,
Yeah,
out of the city.
yeah.
And you're like, fuck, how will they be brothers now?
How will they be blood
You know,
brothers anymore?
she's won. Except then the next song is Mrs. Johnstone finding out that her family is being moved to the exact same place.
And Linda's coming too.
And Linda's coming too.
And it's not
What
really
an
fully,
incredible bit of writing.
it's not really fully explained except from Linda, you coming too? Yeah.
Yeah. It's, what is the song called?
A fresh new start, a brand new day,
Bright New Day.
and close enough.
Blood Brothers. Oh, I just remembered why we're doing this episode what we are.
Yes, it's the time of year.
There's a song called July 18th.
Yep. And that is in 2 days. But
Hold on, let me. It's so funny. Yeah, the entire explanation of is Linda moving is Mickey saying, Linda, we're moving, and Linda saying, so are we.
hands on the
That's it.
road. Because for the plot, they have to have a love interest to fight over.
Obviously.
We once got really bored and looked up Blood Brothers fanfic.
I know I did just make fun of Tom Francis updates for doing that. It's such an incredible show. For example, oh, the great song Kids Game. This was an ongoing joke between us.
Lid.
Lid.
I knocked it with my bin lid.
I think in looking back at it, a lot of what it is saying is very, very like on the nose.
It's very surface level, but I do fear it is, especially nowadays with the theatre ticket prices, a story that like the issue with Blood Brothers is it never doesn't resonate with the British public.
Yeah. Like the whole thing with Kids Game is that like the lyric that is important is the chorus, which is but you know that if you cross your fingers, close your eyes and count to 10,
Yeah.
whole thing's just a game. You can start all over again, the whole thing's just a game.
Yes. Yeah, that gets reprised a couple times, doesn't it?
Multiple times they just
Multiple
say
times.
this bit.
But
The whole point of it is obviously to be like, even at the end of the show, they are still very young.
yes.
Do they actually realize the implications of what they're doing? And that
But
I think they sing it at the end.
yeah, because also like what I remembered was the Take a Letter Miss Jones bit section.
Great song.
One, a great song, and two, again, very on the nose, very stereotypical, but again, it is one of those things where you just kind of have to have a very classic on the nose story about.
Yeah.
Where you kind of see Mickey's fall into crime out of just pure desperation.
Yeah. I think it's also I don't know how to like put this into words.
And could it be saying it more sophisticated? Probably. But it gets the job
Yes,
done. And
but
it's
then I
endured.
think it wouldn't resonate as much.
Yeah.
Because the point is you're taking 16-year-olds especially why I think it's important for like drama to go and see
Mm.
it,
Mm.
is the amount of people in our drama class who took it because they were like, well, it's going to be easy, it's just drama.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think it is an important show to go and see, even if they don't fully,
Grasp it.
yeah. It's a show that does stay with you.
Yeah, I mean that gunshot was one of the loudest gunshots I ever heard in a theater.
I think that was the thing. Was it how do they die at the end? Because from my memory, it's not that Nikki shoots Eddie.
Mickey shoots Eddie, and then
I thought he didn't.
no, and then the police come in. So it's like a very last minute thing of I think the police are about to shoot Eddie, Mickey, sorry, and then like
Yeah.
he shoots Eddie on accident. It's something like that. Let me get up the
Because
pause.
my memory is that Mrs. Johnstone comes in and she's like, "Don't shoot him.
Guys, your
He's your
brother,
brother. He's your twin brother. I had to give one away." And that
your
stops
brother, Mickey.
Mickey. He's
Yeah,
your brother, Mickey. You
I've
had a
just found
twin
a
brother.
bite-size uh plot synopsis.
God. But yeah, but he doesn't shoot Eddie,
Mm.
but he's like waving the gun around.
Mm.
And so the police shoot him, and as he gets shot, he shoots the gun that kills Eddie.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's the police's fault, is what I'm
Yeah, no,
getting at.
it ultimately every single big bad in this musical can be boiled down to the system.
And I hate to say it, but
Does have a point.
institution. Um,
Okay, so there's an alternate ending.
oh yeah, I don't remember which one we saw.
So the way it all goes down is Eddie and Linda have an affair. Mickey grabs a gun
Yes.
that Sammy hid before he got arrested and storms down to the
Oh
council
yes,
offices. Because
yes.
also Mickey, Eddie has now got himself in a position of power to help them.
But he's like not.
And that's how Linda and Eddie start an affair.
It's so Mickey gets laid off from his job in Take a Letter, Miss Jones. A great song, an actually incredible song.
Maybe one of the best.
One of the best songs in the show. And the unfortunate thing is, like, every single song of the show is really, really good.
Because it's just like that catchy. It's not
Yeah.
very hard. It's just like take a letter, Miss Jones.
And then Miss Jones gets fired at the end. What a moment.
And again, it's saying something really interesting about Thatcher Britain
Yeah.
and the
Um,
and the deindustrialization of the North.
yeah. But yeah, Mickey gets laid off. And he's also on a lot of drugs, like prescribed drugs
Yeah. Because
for his mental health
again,
issues.
people living in poverty, lower socioeconomic upbringings are at higher risk of poverty and overall worse health. I wrote my dissertation on this.
Um,
No.
but yeah, Mickey's on a lot of prescribed drugs. And then he stops taking them.
Yeah, he does
And
go.
he's on antidepressants. That's what he's on. He's on like a shit ton of antidepressants
Okay.
because he
Yeah,
lost his job.
yeah, in prison, Mickey is diagnosed as chronically depressed, gets released early on good behavior. He is still dependent on antidepressants. He becomes withdrawn and turns away from Linda. And then there's also that thing of Linda kind of becoming Mrs. Johnstone.
Yeah. Linda goes to the council, specifically Eddie, because she's like, is there any way you can help us? Like,
Yes.
can you get, like, this guy? It's not just that we are struggling, it's that we are struggling and also we are your friends.
Yes.
Can you help us?
Yes.
And Eddie's like, yeah, I'll try. I could help you.
Because Eddie's also always had a crush on Linda.
Yeah. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, it is just a very interesting commentary on class.
It is.
Because at the end of it, like, Eddie does end up getting literally everything he ever wants.
Mhm.
He, like, the one thing he wants for most of the show is Linda,
Yeah.
who he can't have because Mickey has her.
Yeah.
And then he still gets her at the end, and yet he still dies.
Mm. But then that's also kind of where like the more amped up elements come into it. Because for all intents
Mm,
and purposes, if we're doing a more naturalistic story, Eddie lives, if that makes sense.
yeah.
But then you also have like the factors like the narrator who is kind of talking about how it's fate and all predetermined.
Mm.
Um,
It's kind of this thing. There are like multiple. I think Willie Russell has done this on purpose,
mm,
where there are multiple reasons presented as to why this all happens.
yes, yeah,
One
yeah,
of them
yeah.
is fate, which is done by the narrator. The narrator's like, was always going to happen. I'm telling you, right? The show starts with its ending.
But also
You know how it's going to end.
the use of fate then plays back into the whole social commentary thing.
Yeah. And then there's also this like superstition
Mm-hmm.
that there's this idea that they're cursed.
So
Just
that's where the shoes upon
something
a table comes on.
shoots upon a table happens. We find out Miss Johnson is very, very superstitious.
No, it's Mrs. Lyons because Mrs.
No,
Lyons
it's
is the
Mrs. Johnstone.
oh, because I just read a sentence that went a very mentally ill Mrs. Lyons, and I was like, oh, I forgot how crazy this show is.
She does become very mentally ill.
Mrs. Lyons becomes very paranoid.
No, it's because Mrs. Johnson is very
Superstitious.
superstitious.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why she's initially against getting rid of one of her twins, because she's like, that's bad luck.
Yeah.
And that's why he sings Shoes Upon a Table when she agrees to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, he's basically, her fear is that she is like cursed them somehow. That's why it's
Mm.
the devil's got your number. You have done
Yes.
something to invoke luck and a curse.
Yeah.
And so, but then also it's this idea that Mrs. Lyons has
Yeah.
of the working class, the lower classes are bad. If you
Yeah.
hang around them, bad things will happen to you. They have bad luck because of the way they are.
Yes. This is
Like ultimately,
it's a personal choice. Mrs. Lyons is like it's a personal choice for them to be poor.
yeah. She's like, this woman has so many kids that she can't feed. Why does she keep having kids?
Which is a
Whereas
ridiculous statement
I
and
can't have a
angers me.
single kid. Like, I
Yes,
can't have a single kid. When I do have a kid, I raise him well and look at how good he turns out.
he is a councilman.
Yeah. But it also, he gets to go to a good school, he gets to go to university,
Yeah.
which the others never have a chance to do. But let's not get into that. And in contrast, you're seeing people like Sammy,
Yeah.
who from Mrs. Let's not get into it, but from Mrs. Lyons' perspective, yes, have chosen a life of crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
But
Sammy's choice to go into a life of crime that ultimately impacts Nikki, who then gets sentenced. He gets sent to prison. Is it Sammy or Mickey that blows up the school?
I
Crazy
think it's
sentence.
Sammy. It's Sammy.
Sammy does something with a Bunsen
Because
burner
Sammy
and
is
the school
presented
director
as
sets it
like
on
the
fire.
evil one. I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain it. But like
he's evil.
Sammy is like, you know, when everyone's just like that child's just a bit evil.
Yeah, that's Sammy.
When there's probably something else going on, but because there's no resources, everyone's just like that child's
Yeah,
evil.
and I think it's the same thing. Is that at the end, the reason from Mrs. Lyons' perspective that Eddie gets killed
Mm.
is because he hangs around with the working classes,
It's because he hung around with Linda.
Linda
What
and
the hell was
Mickey.
that? Yeah.
But then it's also, you know, from not necessarily Mrs. Lyons herself,
Mm.
but I think it also sparks a kind of nature versus nurture debate.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
was it
That could be
if it had
argued as
been the
one of the
other way round?
more the bigger theses of the shows, as well as
Yeah,
class.
that like from the other way round, if
Yeah.
Mrs. Lyons had given up one of her twins to um
Mm.
Mrs. Johnstone, would they have both still ended up living happily because they had come from a better, in quotations, like family?
Mm.
Like, is it just who they were? The fact that they were from a poor family didn't mean they were
Mm.
always going to end up in a bad situation.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where the show itself is very, very, very basic.
Yes.
Like, I watched it at 16 years old on Halloween. I was meant to be at a Halloween
Guys,
party and I couldn't go.
guys, it was horrific for us.
We had a devising log due the next morning.
And they were like 5,000 words.
Yeah. And we were all writing it on the tube back.
I wasn't, but
Um,
a lot of people
I
were.
was. I was one of the ones writing it on the tube back. Anyways, every single one of us walked out of it understanding Blood Brothers.
Yeah, we
No
all
one
like,
in our two drama classes were like, I don't really get what Blood Brothers was about. We all knew.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just now with a bit more nuance.
And a bit more
We're
life.
like, there are differing like narratives in it. There are different things you can take away from it. There
Yeah.
is the one obvious message throughout it, which is about class and about how much weight is put on class when it really should not matter as much, and how
Mhm.
that impacts your lives. And then you can look at it in different ways. Of
Yeah.
how does this character view class? How does this character view class?
Hmm.
How does class impact this character differently to this character? These were
Yeah.
all many of the questions on our exam, by the way.
Yeah.
That and like, how would you design a set
How would you
for it?
design a set for Blood Brothers? And it was like, I don't know, Bill Kenwright hasn't updated it in about 50 years.
How would you use lighting in the scene? I wrote about 50 lighting questions, by the way. That's where the start of the lighting obsession came from.
Oh God.
The Blood Brothers exam, where I would just write the lighting questions all the time, and my teachers hated me for it. When we would do the mocks, and then they'd put like the answer sheet up on the board, and we'd go through and mark. They just wouldn't put the lighting ones on there, and I'd be like, "Miss, I did the lighting question." And I just remember once it was not our drama teacher, the other class's drama teacher
Oh yeah, Miss.
was
Yeah.
doing it. Mm. And I was like, Miss, I did the lighting question, not the acting one. Where's the mark scheme for that? And she said, why would you do that?
Oh,
I was like, I'm sorry, I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was different.
Do you not like my use of colour in this lighting? It was in the council room scene, by the way,
Classic.
in the council chamber. How would you light it? I was like, well, as we're coming out of Madman, the song, Mickey would be lit in red
For anger.
for anger. And then he would be upstage in a spotlight. The rest of the stage would be lit in a blue tinted light
Mm-hmm.
to show the calmness of Eddie and Linda's relationship.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wrote like 1,000 words on that.
Anyways, I don't know if I have anything else to say about it except from it's an insanely British story. It's very rooted in class and
Yeah, I think it is really good
yeah,
because I'm
I
trying
think
to
it's
remember.
good.
There's a song.
I wonder if it'll ever come back to the West End or if it'll just stay on tour for the rest of our days.
Yeah, I would actually quite like it to come back to the West End.
And if anyone could speaking of bootlegs, never watched a bootleg in my life, but if anyone could slip me a Carole King Blood Brothers bootleg, hit me up. Now that is something I would die to see.
God. I'm just remembering the lyrics from Marilyn Monroe 3.
Oh, outstanding works.
They're so good.
Mm.
I'm trying to find the one. Um, it's a song about Linda, and it's when she's in the kitchen, and it's talking about her making tea.
Mm.
It's the one where it's like she's become not just her mother, like the mother, Mrs. Johnstone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, because Mrs. Johnstone is very much portrayed as an archetype. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
In the same way, Che Guevara isn't actually Che Guevara.
Che, who may be Che Guevara.
Mrs. Johnstone is not actually Mrs. Johnstone.
No, I've just remembered what the like superstition is.
Mm.
But it's a lie.
Okay.
Mrs. Lyons tells Mrs. Johnstone Like, oh, by the way, these two can never learn that they're twins because it's bad luck. She's playing on the fact that she knows Mrs. Johnstone is superstitious. And what she tells Mrs. Johnstone is, you do know what they say about twins secretly parted, don't you? They say that if either twin learns that he was one of a pair, they shall both immediately die.
Yes.
It's just not true. And then in the council chamber, Mrs. Johnson comes in, she's like, he's your brother.
Yeah. And then he dies.
And then he dies. Yeah, you won't tell anyone about this, Mrs. Johnstone, because if you do, you will kill them.
Mm.
God.
Anyway,
What a fucking show. What a show.
that's actually all I have to say on Blood Brothers.
Oh, the greats. Oh, the fact that the kids are played by the adults is really funny.
And that's fun. And it's also meant that the show can run for as long as possible.
Yeah. I think the other really funny part in it is the song That Guy.
Oh my god, I was just thinking about that.
So it's never outright said. It's kind of implied that they're identical twins. Or no, it's implied they're not identical
They're
twins.
fraternal.
Yeah. So they don't quite look alike. Or they don't look identical, basically.
Yeah.
But then there's this song called That Guy, where they're like staring at each other.
Yeah.
And they're just like, God, he's so much more attractive than me.
He's so
much
cool.
better than me. Like,
He's just the coolest man on the planet.
yeah, he's like, they're both singing and they're like, I wish that I could be like just a little less like me. Like the kind of guy I see like that guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, that is your twin brother.
Yeah.
That is you.
Trust. It's fine.
It's actually a truly incredible show.
Put that on your icebergs.
Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
There is like definitely about 50 bootlegs out there. I bet I could find one right now.
Oh no, you don't need to do that.
We should go to the tour.
Yeah. I don't want to track out to
Where's
Wimbledon.
the closest it comes?
Don't want to go to Wimbledon again. Don't make me go.
Who's selling the tickets for the tour?
Probably ATG.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
What?
let's go to Richmond.
I know, I don't get why we couldn't have gone to the Richmond date.
Should we just go to Richmond? May next year.
May next
Should we go see it?
Possibly.
What are the tickets like? Hold on, let me look at tickets.
Okay.
What's the most expensive ticket we can get to go see Blood?
I'm not spending a lot of money on it.
Dude, tickets from £15.
Okay.
The most expensive ticket is £84.50, and that is like a package.
Wow.
This is how theatre should be done.
Theatre for the people.
We can get like front row for £64.50.
Shaking my head. Anywho, I've got to go pack.
For just £54.50 each, we can get a box.
Okay. We'll discuss this closer to May next year.
What if the prices go up?
I think we'll be good. Or it'll come around again in another 6 months.
Yeah.
When the aliens take the Earth, two things will be happening: the Blood Brothers tour and cockroaches.
Yeah.
Anyway, as said, no episode next week.
Yeah. Go listen to Blood Brothers instead.
Go listen to Blood Brothers instead. And don't bootleg. Unless you're one of the professional bootleggers, in which case reach out. Your anonymity will be protected. We have some questions.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.